In this example, we will go through few formulas like mid, left, right, and we will see how we can combine these to form bigger formulas and extract values. Let's get started. So in this example, we have a key which is made up of customer ID, gender, and profession column separated by a dash or a hyphen, as you can see here. We will separate these into their own columns. As you can see, we have customer ID here, gender here, profession here. Let me get rid of these columns and let's start creating these formulas by scratch. For customer ID, we know that we need left of first dash, so we need 5, that is before the first dash. We need 19 before the first dash, so on and so forth. So we need to find the position of first dash. We can do that by using find. So let's start our function. Find takes in an argument as what to find. That will be dash, so give it dash. Within text is where you want to find it. And start number is by default 1. You can skip it if it's 1, as it's an optional parameter. We have the location of first dash now. We can use left and give it the text and number of values to extract. So let's start left. So left takes in text and a number of characters. So let's give it this value and number of characters will be these. We can see that it picks the dash itself as well. So we need to subtract 1 from it. So if we subtract 1 from number of numchars, which is number of characters, we get our correct value. Now let's combine these formulas into one formula to get our customer ID in the correct column. Our left formula uses the find formula in cell A2. So press F2 to go into edit mode in cell A2. Copy the formula without the equal signs and paste it in the left formula where it said A2. So we know that we are replacing the whole A2 with this formula. So let's paste it. Click on enter and we still get our desired value. So let me cut and paste this here. Now if I copy and paste it down, you can do this like this, or you can do the copy and paste as well. And we see we have our correct customer IDs for each of these. Now let's get the gender, which will be a bit difficult as it lies between 2 dashes. As before, we'll add find. It gives the location of first dash. Let's do that again quickly. Okay. Now we will use another find for which we will use optional parameter of start underscore num. So let me open it up. As you can see, we have this optional parameter start underscore num, which we can tell from what number you start finding. So let's create the formula again. Give it dash to find it here. And from start num, we will give it 2 because we want it to find dash after the first dash. So it gives us the position of second dash. So we would add 1 in it. And we get the position 9. If we can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have our correct position for second dash. Right, so we have the position of 2 dashes here. 1 is 2 and the second dash is 9. Now we can extract the data from within these dashes using mid formula. So we put an equal sign, put in mid. Mid accepts a text that the text it wants you to work on, start number and number of characters. So we give F2 as text. Our start number will be 2 plus 1 because 2 itself is the position of dash. And our number of characters will be difference of this minus this. So let's press enter. And we have our desired value, but there's a dash in it. It means that it's picking 1 extra value. So what we can do is we subtract 1 from the number of characters and we have our correct value. Now let's start combining these formulas into one mega formula. We will use F2 to go in edit mode. First we will see how many times B2 appears in this formula. So we have B2 here and B2 here. So it means that each time we will have to replace the whole formula of B2 with this formula. Press F2 to go into edit mode and copy this without the equal sign. And each time there appears B2, we will just paste this here. And if we remove B2, we can see our formula still works. That is good. So let's look at formula in D2. And each time there is C2, we will just replace the formula with it. It only appears once. Let me copy all of this. And where it says C2, we will just replace it. And if I remove all those values, we have our correct formula. So let me copy and paste it down. And you can see we get our results that are correct. And we have our one combined formula. If I were to try to create this formula all at once, it would have been really difficult. So it's always easier to combine small formulas into one bigger formula. The last thing we need is profession. Now for profession, we know that it's after the second dash. So we need to find position of second dash again. We do that using to find. So I'm just going to create first find here again. Now we know that this is the starting position for second dash. So we will on another dash here, do the same thing. F2. and where it says start number, we will give it the second find and we'll add 1 to it because we want it to start looking after the first dash. And we get our position 9. Now second thing we will need to find out is the length of this value, so we'll use length. So now we know that the length of this value is 19 and the starting position of second dash is 9. So our value lies between 9 and 19. So let's do that. Type in write. Write would take in the text we want to work on, and numchars, which is number of characters, which will be difference of 19 minus 9. So let's give it the values. Okay, we have our result. So let's start combining these formulas again. Edit the formula. Where it says C2, replace the formula of C2 with it. Where it says D2, replace the formula of D2 with it. Remove these, and we have our correct formulas as one big formula, and it is dynamic as well. So let's say if I want to change this to unspecified, we still get our correct values, and even though it's dynamic and it's different in length, it will still give us the correct value. And you are done. This is how you combine small formulas to get one complex formula. The same thing can be done easily with text to column options, but it's good to know how these formulas work, as these formulas are really helpful in different situations. I hope you found the video helpful. If you did, support the channel by liking and subscribing, and I'll see you next time.